Okay, Jay, I'm going to show very briefly what's happening, describing the causes and the consequences. Um, Basically, the problem occur in the backswing, and there's really, well, you could force some things in your swing, but I think the pelvic moves and the balance issues will not let you develop a lot of good things unless you change the backswing. So, first of all, you move towards the ball in the backswing. It seems like not much. Look at the head is going forwards. Look at the trunk. We can see a whole chunk of your left side here. There's already started to lose quite a bit of a little bit of the touch line. Sorry, the left hip has went down. The left knee, even if not severe, has gone towards the ball. All these give forces that make you go towards the ball. What happens to maintain balance? Since you have that kind of pelvic tilt, we can interpret your shoulders as being tilted, but there's not really left lateral bend here. So that's one part of the equation. Developing right lateral bend from a not left laterally bent spine in the backswing is difficult. The other thing is that since all those balance issues make you go towards the ball, what happens with the hands? They go, and the club and the inertia of the club is going back, and to maintain balance, that's why you have shoulders so deep, hands very deep relative to the right shoulder. That influences the position of your right shoulder. It cannot be into internal rotation, and the scapular movements can be done from here. That's why you were saying that you had an elbow move problem. Indeed, you have. You are going into internal rotation in the downswing. That makes you lose your lag. That makes you protract the right shoulder. That makes you flip, etc., etc. The improper scapular movements are also not a good thing because they are supposed to help your right lateral bend, and right now they are not. The other thing that's going on, and I'm going to use a face-on view to explain that. Okay, there you go. Okay, it's centered. Cool. Take a look at the left hip and how it goes down in the backswing. Now you do try and load right. I can see that. I have no problem, no issues with that. But look at the left hip, how it's going down. It's moving in that direction. That gives you backswing left pelvic tilt. That can also give you anterior pelvic tilt, but with this black color, it's not obvious. What happens when you have those kind of pelvic movements is that the spine will tend to go into too much extension, meaning leading towards the target. As you can see here, well, if you were to stop the backswing right there, you will have the overall spine flexion, and we would be fine with that. But look at what happens. It goes kind of like this, and the problem with that is that it stretches the left abs, and those left abs will tend to contract in transition, which is exactly the opposite of what we want, and this will give you instant posterior pelvic tilt. And also, well, since you slide a smidge and you keep moving towards the target, it gives you the very common right pelvic tilt. So I'm exaggerating, it's not drawn properly, but it's just to explain. And since you are in right pelvic tilt, your spine has a natural tilt, and there's no real right lateral bend in there. So you are getting your head tilts back, but it doesn't tilt back because you have left pelvic tilt, high right shoulder, and the spine being bent. it's tilting because you have right pelvic tilt and a spine that cannot bend, and you're basically in that kind of position. Here we can see the internal rotation of the right shoulder, which is a consequence of the backswing. There's no way around it. You could try and force it, but the spine movements are not proper anyway. So since we want long-term effects, I think you have to look at the backswing, like you said. Look at how much rotation occurs after impact. That's also a sign that the pelvis is not working as we would like to. Again, the consequences of the internal rotation of the right shoulder, the protraction of the right shoulder is the right elbow will tend to extend and the right wrist will tend to give in flexion. And this will give you that kind of flip that you are maybe escaping, but as you can see, the rate of flip is quite high. The club has already passed the left forearm. Anyway, so to sum up, I'm going to go back to the down the line view. Sum up, you are going towards the ball that way. The left hip is going down, which gives you a natural tilt, but it's not spine bend. The spine bend will have the left hip very high and the spine like this, and this would be your body working up and away, and this will your hands will not have to get so deep. They would get naturally around here over the right shoulder, which will improve internal rotation of the shoulder, working for you with a free elbow move. The left lateral bend to right lateral bend will also help create this elbow move, and it will improve on the overall pelvic movements. So I'm going to erase those kind of things. What's happening too is that left hip goes down and you lose balance, and your trunk, the spine extension is too high. You're tilting towards the target, which stretches those left abs, where if you were to be like this and this, they will be kind of way looser, and they would not contract in transition. Right now they contract in transition, which gives you posterior PPT, posterior pelvic tilt. As you can see, you're losing the touch line very early. That's the first move that occurs. This makes you way too close to the ball. The brain knows it, so you have to go up and extend the right elbow. That there's no way around it. The brain wants to hit good shots, so it's going to do what's required. So early PPT, since you are so close to the ball and have to jump, there's no rotation there. Well, a little bit of rotation, and still you can see that your overall trunk has this kind of shape. What does it tell us? His shoulders are quite square, the pelvis is quite square, but still the body has this shape. What does it tell us? Spine flexion. It looks like lateral bend, but in the absence of hip rotation, that means it's spine flexion, and that's very logical because it's happening because of the ab crunch. So you are a victim of this. You cannot really create the depth that you would like, having the hip here, the left leg like this, and a spine that would be like this. So you have a big separation between hips and shoulders. So that's all consequences of the backswing. So you can analyze the cause and the consequences of this, but well, I've done it, and there's really no way around. You have to use more of an up move. It's going to feel awkward, sure, but you have to build that kind of thing. Impeach that left hip going down towards the ball. Maybe you could act on the left knee. I've had people that had success focusing on the left knee and making it stay inside the tip of the toes. Um, Try to increase that idea of rounded right rib cage, so you would end up like this. Since that the overall trunk balance equation of this kind of position is going here, the hand won't have the idea of going so deep, so they will go some kind like here over the left shoulder, the right shoulder, and the right shoulder will be in internal rotation, and you will be in a much better position to develop a good backswing. So right now the thing is losing balance towards the ball, letting the left hip go down, which means the arms and the hands have to go deep, which is destroying your elbow move, also destroying your scapular movements, which are very detrimental to your downswing and the right lateral bend creation. This loss of balance means you are going to go into spine extension, which stretches the abs, which gives you posterior pelvic tilt and loss of tush line. Right pelvic tilt comes in, and you have no space. You have no chance to develop rotation, and this gives you right pelvic tilt and fake right lateral bend. So not very well. There are not a lot of elements that you can work on your downswing right now because everything is working against you. So develop an up move with the whole trunk. Try and get this right side more rounded with level hips, and you should be able to work on more transition moves in a few weeks, but right now backswing is the top priority. Hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.